everybody. This is not going to be a long live for real this time. Not going to be a long live. I do want to point out some things. We're going to just have a little class today. How about that, y'all? We're going to have a little class today. I don't like the way this pink is looking at this on this red. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take this off. Can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you guys can still hear me. I got all types of stuff over here. Look at this. Look, eventually my husband gonna set this thing up right here that Binky Bink bought me. We're looking for one more piece, so he gonna do that for me today. All right, somebody just sent me a message and she says, it's no sound. Huh? Thought you guys said y'all can hear me. Let me know if y'all can hear me. She said, yes, we can hear you. Okay, here we go. First of all, hey, everybody. Hey to my members. Look at y'all out there all in green, green, green. Majority of y'all just green, green, green. She said, we can hear you loud and clear. Okay, good, good, good. This is not going to be a long live, okay? But I wanted to provide a class today on something. I think every now and again, having a class to bring us some knowledge and awareness is very helpful and useful for our segment, okay? What we focus on this channel. Now, let me remind you, because for a moment there we got into some messiness, but this channel focuses, not solely, but focuses on manipulation, lies, narcissistic behaviors, gaslighting, that type of stuff or whatever, right? So I would like to break some things down today. We're going to focus today on a true victim versus a false victim or fake victim, however you want to look at it. False victim, fake victim versus true victim, okay? We're going to focus on that. It's going to be like a class type. Go down and do like an outline. I see this thing flittering. I'm not sure why. Hold on one second. Y'all know my background be tripping sometime. Hold on. Did we get it? Think so. All right, so we're gonna have this class today. Y'all doing all right? Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this class? Let me turn this light on. Is that better? I think that's better. I don't even know if it made a difference. It made a difference to me, honey, because it was just okay. Anyway, I can see better now. But it may not have even made any difference to you guys. She said, hey, more moms in chat. Hey, Glenn, for real, girl, you came just in time. Come on in. How many of you guys ready for tomorrow? I am ready for tomorrow, baby. Hey, please hit that thumbs up. She said we got 109 people in here and only what? It went away. Well, anyway, hit that thumbs up button for me, please. And thank you. Please and thank you. She said, I've been ready all day because I've been bored waiting on you. Well, who's ready for tomorrow? Because I am definitely ready for tomorrow. So make sure y'all have y'all popcorn and your fuzzy socks, okay? Tomorrow at 7 p.m. I think it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern. So it's going to be on East Coast time, 7 p.m. tomorrow, okay? Make sure y'all pull up, child. I'm going to be right there in the audience, okay? All right, so let me put this photo up, and I'm going to describe this photo as we talk about our topic for today, okay? This photo right here that I have up, it depicts two different characteristics of a person, all right? On one of them right here where the lady has her hand on the other lady's head, it shows empathy. Excuse me. She said, what's at 7 p.m.? Keeping it real, you late. Somebody in the audience is going to have to tell you. Somebody in the audience is going to have to tell you. Thank you so much, Lakeisha, for our very first super chat for today. It says, good evening, Captain, Professor, Goat, and Chat. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. So on the picture photo you're looking at with the lady embracing the other lady with her hand over her head, that shows empathy for another person. Whereas the one on my right, maybe your left, it shows anger, bitterness, lashing out, yelling, and just negativity, okay? So I'm pretty sure you guys knew that. So we're going to get into this topic on what we're going to be talking about today. Fake victim versus real victim. Now, one of the things that I did, I put in, now, Chat GPT is helping me with this today, y'all. I put in there a question. I said, do true victims. Now, let me explain. You could be let me move this for a second. You could be a victim of many things, okay? Many traumas, abuse, a lot of different things. It could be your childhood, it could be from your school, it could be from a relationship, it could be from your church, it could be from your spouse, it could be from your own damn grown ass kids. You understand what I'm saying? Or some people might even have some young kids that might be abusing them. Now I don't see how, because honey, I wish I might. However, we watch TV. It could be from your job. You could be getting abused from your job. It could be from your it could be financial abuse. A lot of people don't even think about that. But there's different forms of abuse, right? A lot. I think we learned that early on. It's like 9 different forms of abuse. So I'm not just focusing on just one particular abuse. I'm focusing on overall, okay? This is overall. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I knew I felt naked. I knew I felt naked. I knew it was something that made me feel naked. Hold on, y'all. I knew it was something that made me feel naked. I did not know what it was. Why y'all didn't tell me I was naked over here, child? I felt naked. Hey, look, let me put when y'all tell me to put my disclaimer up, I need for you guys to say, put your disclaimer up and put your necklace on, okay? Stop playing with me over here. I saw it laying down, and I'm like, wait a minute. I felt naked, y'all. Honey, now I feel like I got a fat gold chain on. You hear me? Y'all can't let me forget my necklace. I am not going to be able to do no class or no live when I cam up if I don't have my necklace on, baby. I need my fat gold chain. Fat gold chain. Fat gold chain. Okay, let's get back serious, you guys. Thank you, Yolanda, for our second super sticker for the day. Thank you so very much. All right, let's get back into this, baby. Because listen, y'all was about to make me miss out on my gold chain, baby. Y'all can't be doing that. All right, so I asked Chat GPT a question because I was a little confused. I get a little confused. Y'all know sometimes, the blonde girl in me come out. I get a little confused, So I asked Chat GPT, I said, can a true victim or will a true victim lash out and make threats of assault onto another person all because they're angry? I said, because they're angry? Is that possible? Like a victim, right? Been through a whole lot of things. I said, will a true victim lash out, make threats to assault another person just because they're mad? Because they're mad, all right? And I got an eye opener. I learned something today, you guys, and I want to share what I learned with you. Okay? It says a true victim rarely acts out in a way that perpetrates harm or use threats as a weapon against another person. They rarely ever do that. They rarely ever try to intimidate and incite harm or try to threaten another person. It says people who have genuinely suffered trauma typically understands the weight and impacts of violence, including sexual assault, and are more likely to advocate for safety, healing, and understanding They are the ones that normally try to go out and help other people because they know what it feels like to be in those shoes. Do you understand what I'm saying? That can go for child abuse. You know, when people have suffered through child abuse, they normally try their damnness to not continue on that cycle of abuse. And they try to help other people to prevent them from having to endure the same type of pain that they had to endure. They're more empathetic and understanding. Why? Because they didn't been through the shit and they didn't like it. Not at all. So they're more advocates. They advocate, not intimidate. Okay? Making threats of any kind, especially as severe as sexual assault, often signals a deeper issue, such as manipulation, lack of accountability, or even an attempt to deflect attention from their own behaviors. So sometimes a person that lashes out, make threats, especially to SAU, they're trying to deflect from their own behavior. They want the attention off of their bad behaviors, okay? Or it signifies a deeper issue of manipulation. We know a lot about manipulation over here, don't we? These actions are completely inappropriate and can harm not only the person targeted, but also genuine survivors by underlining the seriousness of such claim. This is a clear red flag when evaluating someone's claim of victimhood. Okay? Clear red flag. We're going to go further, but this is a clear red flag. When you find someone that has claimed trauma, hurt, pain in their prior life or whenever, and they tend to lash out at you, threaten you, try to intimidate you by saying, I will sexually assault you, and they may not use those exact words. They may describe the sexual assault attack that they will do to you. When you see people like that, that is a clear red flag. Clear red flag that there's something else going on. Okay? It's a red flag when you're trying to evaluate whether someone has true victims, if they are a true victim or a fake victim. If they're just lying and trying to manipulate you, or they are a victim of real trauma. Okay? Let's go further. Let's go further. Honey, Chat GPT was just talking to me today, y'all. I learned a whole lot. Now we're going to break down something right quick. We are going to break down. Hold on one second. Let me put this back up for a second. Where's it at? Here we go. Oh, that's not it. Add to the stage. Okay, here we go. So like I said, a true victim shows empathy. They care about you, okay? We're going to discuss empathy versus retaliation right now, okay? True victims often develop heightened empathy due to their own experiences. They done been through it before. They know how it feels firsthand, the pain and the trauma caused by the abuse. So their empathy for others is heightened. They care a lot about how a person feels, right? Threatening sexual assault or violence is the opposite of empathy. Very much opposite. It shows a lack of understanding or care for the suffering of others. When someone threatens to bring you harm, whether it's through sexual assault or physical violence, That is the very opposite of showing empathy. That means that they don't give a goddamn going if another person suffers. That's not empathy. Matter of fact, the behavior of someone that's doing the threatening to assault you or cause physical harm, it aligns more with manipulation or abusive tendencies rather than those of a genuine victim, okay? It basically screams that they are an abuser. Someone that threatened violence on you, saying that they will unalive you or they wish that you were unalived, depleted from this earth. That's not the behavior of a true victim. That's not the behavior of someone that shows empathy. That's the behavior of an abuser, a manipulator, okay? Weaponizing victimhood. Fake victims may use their victim status as a shield to justify their harmful actions, such as threats or retaliation. They often escalate conflict by making outrageous threats or statements to gain control of the narrative and to intimidate others. An example would be a person threatening to FA you is not only harmful, but is an attempt to silence or intimidate their target, which is a characteristic of what? It's the characteristics of an abuser, not a victim. Abusers threaten to intimidate harmful things. They do it to intimidate you or to make you shut up. Okay? That's not real, true victimhood. All right? The projection and deflection. Individuals who threaten violence may be projecting their own harmful tendencies onto others to avoid accountability. Why would they be avoiding accountability? Accountability for their bad behaviors, okay? Individuals who threaten violence, I just said that. Such actions deflect from their behaviors and refocus attention on their dramatic claims, often manipulating public sympathy. So sometimes they project and deflect to get public sympathy. It's a whole form of manipulation. Genuine victims rarely make others feel unsafe, while fake victims may exploit their roles to gain power or avoid consequences. True victims, they care about how you feel. They care about how your heart feels. They have, like I say, empathy for you. People that lash out, make threats to cause bodily harm against you, want to see you unalived, want to see you depleted from this earth. That's not real victimhood. Not at all. That's manipulation. That's signs of an abuser, someone with bad ass behavior. They are real abusers, okay? Harm to real survivors. Threats like these damage the credibility of genuine victims, making it harder for others to trust or support people who come forward with legitimate claims. So when you have a fake victim come out here and pretend to be a victim, right? And they gain the sympathy of the public, only to find out that they are really not a victim because of their behavior, because of the red flags, because of their own actions, that harms real survivors. How, you may ask? Well, because then when they come out and discuss their stories, people will less likely believe them because of people like this, okay? Let me go a little further, all right? Characteristics of a true victim, they display genuine emotional responses. Their responses are genuinely emotional. They feel for you. Like I said, they have empathy. And they often tend to blame themselves or question their own role in the abuse instead of their abusers. They say, what did I do wrong? Why me? Why did it have to be me? Okay? They blame themselves. Well, maybe if I wasn't wearing that dress, maybe if I didn't go in that room, maybe if I didn't sit on their lap, maybe if I didn't do this, this wouldn't have happened. They try to blame themselves 9 times out of 10. Characteristics of a true victim: reluctant to share overly dramatic or exaggerated details. They'll tell you, yeah, I was essayed, or I may have been abused in my last relationship, but they don't share the overly dramatic parts of it, the details. They're not going to get grimy with it. They're not going to give you the nasty, grimy details of it. They're not going to do that. Why? Because a true victim holds on to a little bit of that because of trust issues as well. They're not so freely to come out and tell the public everything that has happened to them so freely, neatly, and give them the gruesome details of everything that happened. They tend to hold on to stuff. They don't even tell their partner, someone that they choose to marry and move forward with. They don't even tell them the whole story. Bits and pieces. Sometimes it takes years to get the whole story out of that person because they're not too quick to just release all of that information. They shield their hearts. Their trust is not all the way to the top. They're not going to allow somebody else to be able to abuse them again by telling them so many things. Okay? Also, a true victim avoid excessive attention or public glorification of their pain. They don't want all that attention on them. That's why I say they shy. They only tell bits and pieces because they're not the attention seekers. They're not, oh, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Screaming and yelling to the top of their lungs. Look at me. A survivor who shares their experience in a calm and reflective tone without vilifying their abuser in every statement. That is an example of a true victim. They're calm and reflective tone without vilifying. Believe it or not, they don't put too much blame on their abuser in every statement that they make. Every statement, every statement, every statement, every statement. Now let's talk about the characteristics of a fake victim, shall we? The characteristics of a fake victim: overly rehearsed or exaggerated accounts, seeks attention, validation, and sympathy from a broad audience. Honey, they want the world to know, baby. They want to scream it to the mountaintop, baby. Why? Because they are seeking attention, seeking validation, seeking sympathy. They play the victim card to shift the blame or to manipulate others. They exhibit inconsistencies to their stories and their timelines. An example of a fake victim is a person posting frequent sensationalized videos about their abuse, about their abuse without evidence or context. So they make posts after posts after posts and videos after videos after videos about their abuse without evidence or context. For what? For attention, for validation, for sympathy from a broader audience. They want to scream it to the mountaintop. That's the characteristics of a fake victim. Again, let me go over the characteristics of a true victim so you'll see the difference. They display genuine emotional responses. They tend to blame themselves or question their own role in the abuse. They're reluctant to share overly dramatic or exaggerated details. They avoid excessive attention or public glorification of their pain. An example of a true victim is a survivor. They're no longer a victim. You listen to the words, you guys. A true victim call themselves survivors, right? A fake victim call themselves a victim. Let me say something right quick, and then we're going to get right back into it. Y'all know I am a cancer survivor, correct? Y'all know that I had both breasts removed. I had double mastectomy. I had 6 months of chemotherapy. I've had 30 rounds of radiation treatment, and I've had 10 surgeries, okay? My mother and my father biologically both died of cancer. Have y'all ever heard me call myself a victim? Have y'all ever heard me call myself a victim? Do I get on this platform and go over my cancer story day after day after day after day after day after day after day? I do not. You want to know why? Because I am not a victim of cancer. I am a survivor. I am still alive. I am still breathing, walking, talking, and loving on people. I am not a victim. I am a survivor. Cancer did not take me out. I have no need to shout to the tallest mountain that I am a victim of cancer because I am not a victim of cancer. I am a survivor. A true victim refers to themselves as a survivor. A fake victim refers to themselves as a victim. Please understand that. Again, I say, a true victim refers to themselves as a survivor. A fake victim refers to themselves as a victim. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get into the behavior analysis of a true victim versus a fake victim, okay? Consistency in storytelling. True victims' story aligns over time and details are clear yet modest. Not too much. Not too much. It's very clear, but they dumb it down a little bit. They don't give you the gruesome details. Remember we said that, right? When they are storytelling, when they are telling the story, they don't give out too many gruesome details, and the story aligns over time. The details and the timelines of everything, it stays the same, okay? An example, a victim who explained their story once and stick to the facts. Now, a fake victim, they change the details frequently or add unnecessary dramatic flares. An example of a fake victim. One day they may claim to be, a victim of domestic violence. And then another day they may change it and say that they have been sexually assaulted. Okay? Without prior mentioning it before. All right? So their accounts change. All right, it's not the same, and they add on and add on and add on, and next month they may say I was sexually assaulted, physically abused, and they may even throw financial abuse in there. I don't know. I'm just making up something at this point, okay? Number 2, focus on healing versus victimhood. A true victim, what did I say? A true victim often seeks resolution, healing, and empowerment. They use words like, I'm a survivor. This is what I've been through. This is not who I am today, baby. Why? Because they focus on healing, resolution, and empowerment. Sharing therapy, progress, or encouraging others to leave abusive situations, that's a true victim. Baby, don't stay in that situation. Homie, don't stay there. You deserve better. You don't need that in your life. Walk away. You got this, girlfriend. You got this. You can do it. Whereas a fake victim, honey baby, they dwell in the victim narrative and avoid discussing personal growth. They don't want to get out of that. They want to stay the victim. An example of that would be repeatedly posting about their abuse while showing no steps whatsoever toward healing. They just want to post about it. They don't want to heal. Healing is not their focus. Getting sympathy, attention from a broad public, that's their focus. They're not trying to heal. If they was taking steps toward healing, the one thing that they would change is, I am not a victim. I am a survivor. I beat this. They will be trying to progress. They will be looking for healing, resolution, and empowerment. They would not every single day of their life want to be noticed as a victim. Okay, let's move on. Signs of lying, nonverbal cues, avoiding eye contact when asked specific questions, because y'all know context matters, right? Inconsistencies in their body language, nodding while saying no. Verbal cues, this is signs of lying. Verbal cues, overcompensation with excessive details, adding unnecessary, unrelated drama to make the story seems authentic, being defensive or aggressive when being questioned. You know, when somebody asks you a question and you just go overboard and you want to scream and shout and get all mad just because somebody asked you a question. You're like, damn, I just asked you a question. Why are you getting all defensive? What the hell is going on? Where is the aggression coming from? Right? Or they may say something like, how dare you question that? How dare you ask me, did it happen? How dare you ask me to provide proof? How dare you? I can't believe that you're asking me these things. Because a liar wants you to believe it without having to show no evidence, no proof. And they get defensive and very angry at you when you ask them, how dare you? And then they say this. Listen, they say this. You're just like my abuser. You're trying to abuse me all over again. You're just like them. How can you do this to me? Seeking attention and validation. Public versus private behaviors. A true victim, well, they may hesitate to share publicly due to trauma or fear of backlash. An example would be someone who opens up only in a safe space or a private support group. A fake victim seeks a broad audience and thrives on validation from strangers. An example would be posting frequently, crying selfies with caption about their pain. Because what are they doing? They're seeking validation. They're seeking attention from the public. They want sympathy from strangers. A true victim don't want sympathy from strangers. A true victim take baby steps. Again, they tend to go to private support groups. Somebody that has experienced the exact same thing that they have experienced. They're not looking for validation from complete strangers. Let's talk about narcissistic traits. A fake victim often displays narcissistic behaviors like gaslighting others into supporting their narratives, How do you gaslight somebody else into supporting your narratives? Look what they're doing to me. How can they do this to me? How can they tell me that this is not true? I've been through this. I went through this. This happened to me. So they gaslight others into believing and supporting their narratives. Victims shaming true survivors. So someone, a narcissist will actually, so let's just say myself, I'll use myself an example. Let's say that I was a SA victim or a domestic violence victim, right? A narcissist, fake victim will actually shame what I've been through, right? Or let's not even say, let's take away sexually assault and domestic violence. Let's say childhood abuse, because that is an abuse as well, right? So a narcissistic fake victim will try to shame a true survivor of abuse. They try to shame them by saying things like, that's why you ate eggs out the toilet. You ate eggs out the toilet. So they like to shame true victims. Now, if you are a true victim, you would nowhere in your heart want to bring shame on another victim. Why? Because you know how it feels to be a real, have had trauma in your life, right? You know how it feels. So you're not going to go out and poke fun at someone else that have experienced abuse. Another narcissistic trait, they weaponize their story to gain what? Status or sympathy. Their story becomes them. They become their story, and their story becomes them. Anything else about them? No. It's this happened to me. This happened to me. This happened to me. They weaponize their story. They shove it down people's throat. They wear it on their shoulders, their head. They weaponize their story just to gain sympathy or gain a status. Okay? Let's go to, I think I want to, let me see. Okay, I'm going to skip that one right there. All right, steps to verify authenticity, okay? When you're trying to look for authenticity in a story, well, the first thing we do is say, where's your evidence, right? Where is your evidence? So, and sometimes how we check for evidence, we listen to the person's story and we say to ourselves, does the story align with the facts or the document, i.e. police report, witness statements? Are the story, is the consistency in the account of the actions, are they the same? Is there consistencies or are there inconsistencies? We look for those things when we're checking for evidence, right? But if a person gets angry and don't give you the evidence, then what do we have to go by? But we also observe their motives. What's the motive behind all of this? Why are you telling us this? What is it that you want us to know? Are they advocating for awareness? Or are they solely gaining mother effing attention? Because where is the awareness? Where is the, I want young people to know that this could happen to them? Are you advocating for awareness? Are you teaching? Are you getting up on your platform saying mamas, daddies, aunties, sisters, cousins, grandmas, check your kids' underwears at night. Check for signs of this and that and this and pain and nonverbal cues. Are they teaching for awareness how to spot different abuse, or are they just doing it to solely gain attention? Because if you're doing it for awareness, where is your teaching? Who are you teaching? What are the signs are you telling people that they need to look for? How are you helping children? How are you helping women? How are you solving a problem? Or is it solely about you and gaining attention from complete strangers? Number 3, you watch their interactions. This is steps to verify the authenticity of a person's story. You watch their interactions. Do they support other victims? Or is it their narrative entirely self-centered? It's just about them. Do they join other groups to support other victims? Do they have other victims come to their platform and say, please tell me your story and let me give you an insight on how you can fix what you're going through? Or do they make it about them when somebody comes on their platform and they share their story and then they just turn around and be like, yep, this happened to me. It happened to me, and you just wouldn't know what happened to me. And do they make it all about them? Are they self-centered? Is their narrative, every panel that they go to, are their narrative entirely self-centered, entirely about them? Or are they trying to help someone else heal and get out of the situation because they have learned a way to get out of it themselves? Well, that's steps to verify the authenticity of a person's story. Okay? Um, True victims versus fake victims. True victims tend to encourage critical thinking when they are discussing the process of their healing. They teach other people how to be empathetic and also develop discernment. Again, this is with, saying this is things that you need to look out for. Protect yourself in this manner, protect yourself in that manner. They give out ideas on how to protect themselves from further abuse. Fake victims tend to just make it all about them. They just want to share their story of abuse. I was abused, I was abused, I was abused. Nothing to change or help someone else. I wonder why that is. Why that is. Most of us have been through some type of abuse throughout our lives, some type of abuse. And when we know better, we do better. So when we have healed or have gotten out of a situation, we try to encourage others to do the same. We do that because a true victim would never want someone else to have to go through what they went through. So they don't intimidate. They don't make threats. They don't laugh at another person's abuse. They're genuinely empathetic. They're genuinely trying to find out a way to help that person out of a situation they're currently in. Or they may even swap stories and try to embrace each other, but they never make it all about themselves. A true victim will actually wrap their arms around another victim, and they'll even put themselves last, second, because their hearts, they feel for the other victim. Because why? They know how it feels. They know how it feels. They don't scream at the top of their lungs, why did this happen to me? No, they don't do that. Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? Why did this happen to me? No. They actually tend to blame themselves. They actually literally make excuses for their abusers. They say things like, well, he didn't mean it like that, or it wasn't that bad, or he wasn't, he didn't mean to go that far, or they blame themselves and say, well, had I not said this to him, or had I not warned this, and had I not said this or acted this way, it would not have happened. They actually, believe it or not, take up for their abusers. They don't lash out and want to unalive or seek harm to their abusers, not out in the public. Not out in the public. But like I said, a true victim, they quickly take themselves out of the victim seat and put themselves in a survivor seat. Let's go over key traits of true victims. I think I went over a couple of them. I'm going to go over a little bit more. I said that true victims, their motivation to speak out is not to gain sympathy or fame or financial gain. Their motive is simply to seek justice, healing, or prevention. So you may see some victims yelling and screaming because they want to seek justice. How are they seeking justice? They are marching down to the courthouse, or they file some type of lawsuit, or they, develop some type of rally because they want to seek justice from the person that abused them, right? Or they want to form a support group for healing. Or they try to spread ways to prevent it from happening to someone else. That's their motivation to speak out. Not for someone to pat them on the head and say, I'm sorry that that happened to you. Because how is that helping them? How is that healing them? How is that stopping it from happening to someone else? How is it seeking justice for what they went to? Apologizing to me for what I went through is not helping me. That's not helping me. I need you to help me. Show me support groups that I can join, that I can literally get help. Give me the number to a therapist that can counsel me back to good health. But telling me I'm sorry that you've been through that every single day is not help. That's just attention. And it gets old. It gets old. Let's go over a little bit of the signs of fake victims. Again, I already said inconsistencies in their stories. They always changing it. Today it was this, tomorrow was that. Lack of emotional depth, appearing rehearsed, overreacting, lack of genuine emotions, over sympathizing, over emphasizing on sympathy, repeatedly seeking validation, donation, or clout, blaming everybody else. They always love, they always love to blame somebody else for their shit. They shift the blame onto others without any accountability or evidence. They just want you to believe it. If they say it happened, they just want you to believe it. No evidence whatsoever. They just shift the blame without accountability or any evidence. Oh, and I forgot. Let me not forget this one. A big red flag is their own behaviors. The red flag is their behaviors. You have to study their own behaviors. Well, one of them is history of lying or manipulation. When someone that has endured trauma, they're less likely to just go out there just lying for no freaking reason, lying, making outlandish stories with no proof, just lying. That's not a sign of a true victim. That's a sign of a fake ass victim. When they can just lie, a lie just roll out and roll out again. That's a very much sign of a fake victim. And then exploiting others' vulnerabilities for personal gain. That's another sign of a fake ass victim. Another sign of a fake victim. Identifying specific lies or inconsistencies in their stories, highlighting their behaviors that seem exaggerated or manipulative. These are ways that you can point out their lies. What's the motive? I think we said the motive: attention seeking, the desire for validation, fame, or clout, revenge. They could be targeting someone out of spite or anger. That could be a motive to come up with a false abuse claim. We've seen that a lot throughout social media. People want revenge on you for something that you've done to them. So what do? They come up with an outlandish story. This happened to me. This happened to me. He did this to me. She did this to me. They targeted someone out of spite or anger, or it could be for financial gain. Trying to get to the bag, baby. Trying to get to the bag. So again, we have to look at them over explaining their stories, body language, contradicting, lack of evidence, lack of facts, lack of documentation. She said, I'm a survivor of a lot of things and I don't even like bringing it up because I don't want the sympathy. I want people to see me for me, not what I've been through. Please say that again. Please say that again. That is most true victims who said, see, listen, you guys. Look how she literally just, look. Look how she literally started the sentence. How did she start the sentence, you guys? I am a survivor. This is a true victim here. I am a survivor. She did not say I am a victim of a lot of things. What did she say? I am a survivor. There is a difference, you guys. You have to listen to the words that comes out of a person's mouth and listen to their behaviors. True victims don't consider themselves victims. If they made it out, I don't even care if it's one day, baby. If they made it out one day, they are not a victim anymore. They are a survivor. I was calling myself a survivor before they told me I was cancer free. I was calling myself a survivor. The fact that I had surgery and woke up the next day, I called myself a survivor. Every chemo treatment I had, I called myself a survivor. Even though I still had chemo treatments to go, even though I had radiation to go, even though I had more surgeries to go. Baby, I was calling myself a survivor 5 days after they told me that I had cancer, baby. True victims do not label themselves as victims. They label themselves as a survivor. Immediately. And what did she say? I don't even bring my stuff up because I don't want sympathy. You know why she don't want sympathy? Because she survived. She made it through. She's still here. And let me tell you something, you guys. When you are a survivor, when you are a true survivor, honey baby, you don't even want that to define you. I don't want my cancer to define me. You don't want that to define you. What you've been through does not define who you are. That was just a temporary situation. You got a whole life to live beyond what you've been through. We all have been through something. That's not who you are. Just because you've been through that, you may go through something else. So you don't let that define you. I didn't let cancer define me. I would never let cancer define me. And when I hear people out here, y'all know what I'm talking about, a person that just, they wear it as a badge of honor and I don't know, each his own, but I would never let cancer define me. That's like, I know what I'm about to say probably don't make sense, but it's like I had a cold and I got over it. I'm healed, baby. You better know it. I am healed. I am healed. That ain't me no more. That was just a temporary situation that I went through. You don't go around and be like, oh, I'm a cold survivor. I survived the cold. I survived the flu. No one put badges on themselves like that. That was a temporary situation. I am a survivor, baby. I am still here. Because the flu take people out too, A cold take people out. Hell, COVID was a damn cold. It was a virus, but had cold symptoms and shit, right? You don't have to be what you've been through. So when you have people going around saying, I'm a victim, I am a victim. Honey, baby, you a fake ass victim is what you are. Because true victims, honey, we immediately turn ourselves into a survivor. If we made it through, if we out of that situation, if we are no longer dealing with what we survived from, we are not a victim, baby. We are a survivor. Let's go over, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to go back over, I'm going to go over this one more time, and then we're going to get to the harm of false allegations, okay? How does it hurt? How does going out and lying on something that you've been through, how does that hurt real survivors? How does that hurt? But before we get to that, let's go over, I think I went over that already. Genuine emotions, I already went over that. I went over signs of a fake victim, inconsistency in a story, exaggerated emotions, overemphasizes on sympathy. I went over that consistency for true survivors. I went over that. Okay. Let's go over the harm of false allegations. False allegations don't just harm the accused. It also creates a widespread skepticism, making it harder for true victims to be believed. According to studies, the backlash from even one high-profile fake case can ripple through the community, silencing those who need help the most. Y'all remember when, I'm about to take y'all way back. Y'all remember, I can't remember the young lady's name, but she was a Black female, and she accused one of the judges. They were black on black. She accused one of the judges. I think he sits on the Supreme Court right now. She accused him of sexually assault. Do y'all remember that story? Do y'all remember that story? Long time ago. It was a black female. She accused this black judge of sexually assault, and she lost. She lost. Um, it was several reasons why she lost, but one of them was the times different. It was like, I want to say it was like 20 to 30 years later that she actually brung it out. So she lost. But when that happened, Anita Hill, thank you so very much. That's exactly who it is, Anita Hill. And I want to say the guy name is Judge Clarence somebody or whatever. You can put his name down there if you remember it as well. But Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas, thank you, Judge Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill. If you guys want to look up that case, you can. But she ended up losing. And do you know how many people after that start thinking that the woman was lying when she raised the issue of workplace abuse, sexually assault in the workplace? They were just not believing these women. Why? Because not that I don't know if she lied or not. I mean, I believe it happened. To be honest with you, I believe it happened, but because she waited forever to tell, and I think it was because he was getting ready to be appointed to Supreme Court judge, she brung it out. And they basically said, well, if it happened, you would have mentioned something a long time ago, and why wait all these years to bring it out, and so forth and so on, right? So they did not believe her story, but that did a widespread of, now when people come forward with their stories about either workplace abuse or whatever, the women were kind of 9 out of 10 automatically looked at as a liar. Women were losing their cases left and right, all based off of this story, mainly based off of this story. They didn't believe her because they said too much time has happened. And how does she remember the details and so forth and so on? And, oh, well, why would you wait till he's up for judge? And where's your proof? Where is your proof? Did you go to the doctor? Did you get a rape kit? Did you do this? Did you do that? So they didn't believe her. So sometimes it only takes one very important case to change the minds of millions. So false accusations, which I'm not saying hers is false, but I'm saying a false claim can cause a lot of harm. It provides a widespread skepticism, I don't know the word, anyway, that make people not believe your ass, okay? It makes it harder for true victims to be believed, okay? Another story, let me go on. The Johnny Depp and Amanda Heard situation. She came out and she accused him of a lot of things. Well, baby, he came prepared, him and his lawyer. And they ended up finding that some of the things that she accused him of was actually some things that she had did herself. Again, what does that do? It makes other victim stories non-credible because it only takes one or two widespread stories for people to not want to believe anything that you say. Anything that you say. So now when you hear women come out and they accuse people of certain things, is automatically, even with the not R. Kelly, but P. Diddy and the Chrissy story. A lot of people, even the Breakfast Club, a couple of people on the Breakfast Club, they did not believe Chrissy's story and they thought it was just a money grab. Why? Because they was like, no, you just mad at him because y'all not no longer together. You just want money from him. And where's your proof? Yeah, not Chrissy, Cassie. Thank you so much, Cassie. Cassie. It's not Chrissy, it's Cassie. I don't know why I said Chrissy. Cassie. But then when the film video came out of him dragging and kicking her near the elevator and down the hall, what happened? What the freak happened? Everybody owed Cassie an apology. Oh my God, I didn't know this happened to you. I'm so sorry that this happened to you. People need proof. So when you come out here with these outlandish allegations of this happened to you and that happened to you and that happened to you, sometimes you need to be a bit careful because people may just ask you, where is your proof? And how can you get mad if somebody asks you, where's your proof? Now, in my opinion, a survivor, if you ask them for proof, they will either give it to you, or 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't even care how you felt, whether it was real or not, because as long as they know it's real, as long as they know it happened to them, they don't necessarily need you to believe them because they know what happened to them. That's the true victims. They don't need to scream it to the mountaintop. If you don't believe them, they say, that's fine. You don't have to believe me, but I know my truth. I know what I experienced. But a fake ass victim, baby, they want you. They're going to shove it down your throat. You're going to believe me. They're going to make you believe them. They're going to scream. They're going to shout. They're going to call you disrespectful names. They're even going to wish death on your life. Why? Because they are big fat ass liars and they want you to believe their lie. And if you don't believe their lie, they're going to wish death upon you, make threats upon you. Because a narcissist, lying ass fake victim need you to believe their lie. A real victim, baby, or should I say a real survivor, they don't need that because they know in their hearts what happened to them. They know it happened. They know it happened. And they don't have to prove it to no one. They will carry that forever. They okay with you. Hey, I don't believe you. Okay, not a problem. You don't have to believe me. I'm not forcing you to believe me. I know what happened to me. As long as I know, as long as the person that did it knows, and as long as the God above me knows, I'm good with that. Or the ones that I love. As long as they know, I'm good with that. I don't need a stranger in the streets. Somebody that I don't know from 2-buck shoe. I am not trying to convince them of what happened to me. When a person is trying so hard, you guys, working double, triple, quadruple time to get you to believe them, 9 times out of 10, they ain't being truthful. The truth does not need convincing. Thank you for who wrote that. Thank you, Jimmy Jim. The truth does not need convincing. Sometimes you, the individual, you need to know your own truth. And you have to be smart to know that everybody's not going to believe you. Do y'all think that even though Cassie was seen in the video being kicked around and dragged, there's still some people out there that's down her story? There's people out there that's probably like, oh, that was one incident and that doesn't deserve $30 million. And come on, y'all, that wasn't no abuse. All he did was just kick her and drag her down the hall. I guarantee you there's still a person out there that think Cassie got over on Diddy. Everybody's not going to believe your story. I guarantee you out of 12 jurors in a courtroom, all 12 people don't be believing each other. All 12 people don't be in agreement. They just want to get home, baby. Some people will go with the majority because they want to go home. They are tired of having to sit back and deliberate on whether you was guilty or innocent. So they want to get home. They may have a whole different belief in their head, and they're not going to say it out of their mouth because they want to go home to their families. There's nowhere in life that you should get so upset yelling and screaming to the top of your lungs and threaten somebody's life, threaten sexual assault on somebody just because they don't believe you, just because they find inconsistencies in your story, just because they think that you are lying. Just because they think that you are lying, now you want to commit sexual assault on them. You are an abuser, is what you are. You are a narcissistic abuser, not a victim. You are an abuser. Anybody that wish harm on your life is an abuser. We need to understand, you guys, that as we throughout the 2 years, almost 2 years that we've been blogging, a lot of us didn't know this because I didn't know myself. Threats is physical violence. Look it up if you don't believe me. I looked it up. If you look up on the domestic violence website, the domestic violence hotline, the website, threats is considered physical violence. Threats. So if you're making threats to people, you are an abuser. Threatens to cause physical harm, you are an abuser. Okay? Now, I want to go over one more thing because, I am a very rational person. So I just saw TC put something in there and I actually looked it up. Let's get to it. She says, hurt people hurt people. Let's put that up. So I did look that up because I said, well, wait a minute, Amora. Wait a minute, girl. I said, wait a minute. I said, I do know that some kids or people that were abused tend to take their abuse out on other people. All right. So let me get to that right quick because I got that for you as well. Hold on one second. Wait 1 second. Is this it? Hold on. All right, here it goes right here. So I asked ChatGPT, y'all, my new best friend. I said, well, hurt people do hurt people. So can it be true that victim tends to turn around and inflict the same pain that they endured on to someone else? Well, here's the answer to that, okay? Is that, well, yeah, it can be true in certain cases, though it's not universal. But this phenomenon is often referred to as the cycle of abuse, or as TC said, hurt people hurt people. It happens when individuals who have experienced pain, trauma, or abuse unintentionally, or sometimes intentionally, perpetrate similar behaviors onto others. Now I'm going to list the reasons why this may happen, okay? Now pay attention. Pay attention. Number one, unresolved trauma. People who haven't healed from their own pain may struggle to process their emotions and can lash out at others as a coping mechanism. The pain they carry can distort their perspectives, making it difficult for them to break the cycle. Number two, learned behaviors. If a person grew up in that type of environment where abuse or manipulation was normalized, they may unconsciously mimic those patterns, even if they despise them. They may replicate what they've seen as a survivor mechanism, or because they'll never learn healthier ways to communicate or to cope. Number three, A power dynamic. A victim may feel powerless during their trauma and seek to regain control by exerting power over others, sometimes in a harmful way. This is particularly common in work and family dynamics. Emotional deflection. Inflicting pain on others can sometimes serve as a distraction from their own unresolved hurt. It becomes a misguided way to externalize internal suffering. Not all victims become a perpetrator. Not all of them. Healing requires self-awareness, therapy, and sometimes a support system to unlearn harm behaviors. Not patting on the head and not saying, I'm sorry you went through that. If you want to help someone heal through their traumas, through their pain, how do you do it? Well, one, the person that has been through that trauma, they have to be self-awareness in there. They have to be able to acknowledge that they have negative patterns of behaviors going on in the first place. Then they need to seek help. Therapy, counseling is very critical in healing. They need to be in healthy relationships. They need to surround themselves around people who will promote growth and encourage accountability. And let me say that word again. Encourage accountability. Not make them feel that what they're doing is right. Oh yeah, you're lashing out. It's okay because they lashed out at you. You're threatening to, unalive someone is because they did it to you first. You're threatening to essay somebody. It's okay. They did it to you, or they should have left you alone. It's okay. That's not help. That's not encouraging accountability. That is not a healthy relationship. A healthy relationship, you call a spade a spade. You hold a person accountable. You don't tell them that it's okay. You don't become their enabler by telling them that their badass behavior is warranted because somebody didn't leave you alone. Oh, it's okay. They'll know next time. That person is not helping you. They're actually hurting you. They're actually hurting you. There's a lot of enablers out there. We're going to touch on that and then we're going to end, you guys. We're going to touch on that and then we're going to end. There's a lot of enablers out there. Being an enabler to a fake, attention-seeking individual, it can happen when an individual unknowingly support or amplify the behaviors of someone who manipulates others for sympathy or validation. What does it mean to enable a fake victim? Well, let me tell you. First of all, enabling refers to the actions of behaviors that support or reinforce someone's toxic ass behavior. If you support somebody else's toxic patterns, even if it's unintentional, if you support that, you are being an enabler. If you support it or reinforce it, you are an enabler. In the case of a fake attention-seeking victim, enablers may validate false narratives, defend the manipulative behavior, or dismiss others who questions the individual's intentions. So when you see people Can y'all hear me? Oh, y'all can hear me. When you see people out there saying things like, girl, forget them people. You ain't got to prove nothing. I know you done told the story 15 different ways. It's okay. You don't owe them nothing. Or when someone says, what is your intentions? Why are you doing this? Girl, ignore them. Forget y'all. Y'all are just haters. They are enablers. Enablers often feel that they are being compassionate. Excuse me. Enablers feel that they're being compassionate, unaware that they are only fueling harmful or deceitful behaviors. All right, signs that you may be an enabler to a fake ass victim. All right. Blind advocacy, defending the person despite inconsistencies in their stories. Lack of credible evidence. You know they ass lying. You know they said on Thursday it was this, and they said on Monday it was something else, but you still defending them. That's what you call a blind advocacy. Validation over accountability, focusing on soothing their emotion without addressing their questionable, badass behaviors. It's okay. It's okay what you said. You was just upset. You was just mad. No. What the hell did you say that for? What did you mean when you said that? That shit ain't cool. We don't do that over here. We don't play those type of games. You just threatened to unalive somebody, girl. What's wrong with you? But no, they would rather soothe their emotions without addressing their questionable, badass behavior. Isolation of critics, joining in when they attack or ostracize those who challenge their claims. So when somebody is challenging the fake victim, enablers jump in and say, stop, leave her alone, leave her alone. Emotional exhaustion. Oh, Jesus. This right here describes me, y'all. Feeling drained because they demand constant reassurance and attention. Your ass is an enabler if you feel drained because you are constantly reassuring someone. You are constantly attaboying. Attaboy. Patting somebody on the MF and head that's just seeking attention. Now raise your hand if you've ever been an enabler. My hand is actually raised right now. It becomes emotionally exhausted. Have you ever been emotionally exhausted with anyone? If so, then your ass have been an enabler, okay? You added to that shit. It is very draining. Very, very draining. Oh my God, it's so draining. Here's another enabler. Over-invested, becoming so emotionally involved that you ignore the red flags or allow them to dominate your life. Okay, my hand is raised again because I have definitely been overly invested before. Okay, I have been an enabler. Anybody else has been an enabler? If you have, just type I have been an enabler. I have been an enabler. I think we probably all have, but that don't mean you have to continue. How fake victims exploit enablers. Well, do you want to know? Let's go. Emotional manipulation. They use guilt, pity, or fear of abandonment to ensure you continue to support their ass. They cry, They continue to accuse people of doing things that they may not have even done. They are emotionally manipulating the dog shit out of enablers. Playing the hero. This is how fake victims exploit enablers. They make the enabler feel needed, creating a sense of purpose that is hard to walk away from. You just don't know how much this is helping me. You just don't know how much I need this right here. You just don't know how much this has changed my life. Without y'all, I don't know what I would do. Triangulation. Pitting the enabler against the perceived enemy. This is very important, you guys. Triangulation. Pitting the enabler against perceived enemies to create loyalty and keep control. So they try to play the person that is enabling them, that's attaboying their ass, patting them on the head. They try to play them against the perceived enemy. They did this to me. They did that to me. They're evil. They're demonic. They are the most evilest people I've ever heard in my life. And you guys are the best. You guys are wonderful. You guys haven't done no wrong to me. You guys are perfect. I don't know why I ever thought that those people were ever nice. They're disgusting. They're the devil. They're demonic. And you guys are angels. I would have died without y'all. I can't make it a day without y'all. I love y'all. Triangulation, baby. Triangulation, baby. Danger of being an enabler. Perpetrating lies. You continue or you contribute to the spread of false narratives, potentially harming other reputations. I have been an enabler, baby. I have been an enabler. Draining your resources. And I'm not just talking about money, because resources can be what? Time, energy, emotional well-being. All of it can be consumed by individuals' needs. How many of us have wasted our time, energy, and our emotional well-being on a fake-ass victim or a so-called victim? How many? I know I have. My hand is raised. Danger of being an enabler. Well, you'll lose credibility. Other people may question your judgment if they see you supporting manipulative behaviors. Danger of being an enabler. It will hinder your growth. The individual will never face the consequences of their actions if the enabler is always there to protect them. How can a person heal or grow when you're there telling them that their badass behaviors are okay? No. Healthy friendships, healthy relationships say, sis, bruh, you're wrong. How many of you guys can tell someone that they're wrong, that you love? That you love. How many of you guys, raise your hand if you can genuinely tell someone that you love, sis, bro, you're wrong? Or do you sit there and allow them to do the dumbass shit that they do and then don't say nothing? Because you're too afraid of the backlash from them or their reaction to you. Healthy relationships. You should be able to say, I don't approve of your behavior. Sis, what you did was out of line. That was foul, sis. You need to bring it down 10 notches, bruh. If you can't do that, you are not in a healthy relationship. And I'm not just talking about healthy boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife relationships. I'm talking about any type of relationships, whether it's female, co-worker, whatever. If you cannot tell someone that you're deemed that you are in a relationship with in some type of capacity, if you can't call them out on their shit, and you know there's always a way of doing things, but if you can't call them out and say, nah, bruh, I don't approve of that. Nah, sis, you wrong, sis. You wrong, sis. I don't care how upset you are, sis. That's not how we handle things, sis. Those are things that we don't say, sis. We don't make threats, sis. We don't claim to be a victim of sexual assault and turn around and say we're going to sexually assault someone else because we mad, sis. We don't do that, sis. You're out of line, sis. You owe them an apology, sis. We don't do that. And if you can't do that, then you're not in a healthy relationship. You are an enabler. That's it. That's all. And an enabler actually damaged the person worse than the trauma that they've been through. You're helping them with their badass behaviors. Why would you want to hinder someone's growth? So let's talk about how do we stop enabling people. Set boundaries. Limit the time and energy you give to a person, baby. This is very important. This is very important. Limit your time and your energy that you give to a person. Don't let that shit dominate your life. When you get phone calls and people want you to go spill up the dropped milk, you say no, let them do it themselves. They need to be held accountable for their own shit. I'm not going over there and helping them clean up no damn milk. Let them clean up the spilled milk themselves, if you know what I mean. Limit your time. Limit your energy. Your energy can be used for someone else. More important, or your damn self. Set your boundaries. Seek truth. Evaluate their stories critically and look for the inconsistencies yourself. Be like, now, wait a minute now, sis. Now, come on now. Yesterday you said, and now today you saying this. Now, which one is it? Now, I mean, did it happen, sis? Because you're getting a little inconsistent now. Come on now, sis. Come on now, bro. You ain't being completely honest. Now, I heard it for myself. I ain't gonna sit here and act like I ain't hear you twist this shit up 3 different times. Now, sis, either don't say it or get your facts right before you come out and say it. Encourage accountability. Gently challenge their behaviors when it seems manipulative or excessive. Challenge them. Now, sis, you want something today. I don't know. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Because you want something. Something ain't right. Something ain't adding up. Avoid gossip. Refuse to engage in conversation that discredit others without evidence. When somebody come try to tell you something like, I slept with that person's husband. For real? Did you? Where's your evidence? Well, I got it. I ain't gonna show it. Well, I don't believe you until you show it. The fuck? I don't believe you. Stop believing that bullshit. Avoid that shit. Refuse to engage in lying-ass conversations that discredit others without evidence. Prioritize self-care. Ensure you're not sacrificing your own well-being to cater to others' demands. Now, we've seen a lot of that happen in the damn saga, y'all. It's people that lost jobs. It's people that lost cars. It's people that lost their dog, their house, their families, because they was too wrapped up in somebody else's bullshit, and they did not take care of their own well-being because they were so involved with other people's bullshit. You got to self-prioritize your damn self. You got to take a step back and say, well, God damn it, I need some therapy. I need a massage. I need to go do this. I need to go get my nails. I need to go get my hair done. I cannot be available for you to hold your hand and pat your back and carry on your bullshit. And then, last but not least, there's more, but I'm going to stop here. I'm going to stop here. We have to, as enablers, or once enablers, we have to do a self-reflection on ourselves. We have to ask ourselves, are we providing that person empathy or are we enabling them? We need to know the difference. We need to know, are we just there and showing this person empathy? Are we enabling them? And then we have to ask ourselves, the reason why we won't check them, is it because we're afraid of conflict or being disliked or being kicked to the curve? Are we not calling them on their bullshit because they're not going to like us anymore? They're going to drag us. They're going to call us out. They ain't going to want to be our friends no more if we don't support their bullshit. Or are we holding on to some type of guilt, maybe a past experience we had with that person? Or do we have the save a hole mentality? And y'all know what I mean by save a hole mentality. I'm not necessarily talking about a hole. I'm just saying save a hole mentality. You know that save a hole mentality, you want to save every damn body and their mama. I need to help. 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 So which one is it? Are you providing empathy or are you being an enabler? Okay. Oh, Lord, honey. There's more, but I'm going to stop there. Is a whole lot more. I just feel that, again, identifying behaviors, we're all old enough to know what bad behaviors look like. We all old enough to know. When you see bad behaviors, call it out. Stop patting people on the head for having badass behaviors. You are encouraging someone to self-destruct. A person that continues to have bad behavior after bad behavior after bad behavior is nothing but a walking, ticking time bomb. And one day, they will destruct. They will self-destruct. So what I'm trying to say here, you guys, we may not 100% know someone's story, right? Especially if they don't provide evidence, facts, documentation, right? But if you find inconsistencies in the stories, if you hear inconsistencies in the stories, either question the inconsistencies or plug your damn ears, one or the other. Stop being enablers to fake ass victims that just seeking attention. Again, what do we learn here? True victims consider themselves survivors. Fake ass victims yell, scream to the top of their voice. I am a victim. I am a victim. God damn it, I said I'm a victim. They want to stay victims. Fake victims want attention. True victims want healing. They want to advocate against it. They come with solutions, preventions, awareness. They ain't doing this for no clout. You ain't gonna see them posting and commenting and making video after video after video every day on their pain. True victims don't exploit their pain. Fake ass victims want you to believe any fucking thing that come out. Excuse my language, y'all. Sorry, that's the soldier in me. But they want you to believe anything that come out of their mouth and get mad if you don't. They go crazy if you don't. Fake victims go crazy if you don't believe their lies. True victims, either you believe it or not, because guess what? They know in their heart what happened to them. They know in their hearts what happened to them. So I really wanted to just bring this to you guys. Let's do better. Like, I know for a fact that I have been an enabler, and not just on social media, but I have been an enabler in my own family for many, many, many years. And one thing, I'm not a big TD Jakes fan. However, he does lay it down sometime, and he says some good things. And one of the things that he said was what was it he said? Oh, he said, learn the gift. I think he said, learn the gift to say no or let go. I think he said let go, but I'm gonna say this. We all need to learn the gift to let go and to say no. Because if not, we'll continue to be that enabler, continue to be in that enabler. If you truly want to help someone and advocate, the gift of goodbye. Thank you, Candy. I knew it was something, the gift of goodbye. And I'm going to say the gift of saying no. Okay, same thing. Gift of saying no and the gift of goodbye. Learning how to say learning how to say no. Hell no, you can't do it yourself. Sometimes we got to tell people, do it yourself. And the gift of goodbye as well. So if you really want to be an advocate for someone, if you really want to help someone, stop being an enabler. Stop buying into the bullshit. Stop condoning badass behavior. You have to call it out. Healthy relationships, we tell people when they are wrong. If not, you're hindering their growth. And how is that helping them? Allowing people to come out here and spaz out because they mad, that's not helping them. It's not helping them at all, and they shouldn't want it. So now that we know the signs of a true victim versus a fake victim, let's move accordingly, okay? This is not to discount or discredit anybody's story. I just want to teach you guys that there is a such thing, okay? Some people come out here just for attention. There's a lot of that goes on in these social media streets. Attention. People want attention. People want validation. People want pats on the heads. Let's know the difference. And let's give the real victims a hand for wanting to heal, for wanting to do better. Those that's coming out here looking. Tamik, are you in here, Tamik? I ain't mean to call you out like that, but are you in here? Let me see if Tamik in here, and let me see if she'll allow me to just share a little bit of her story. Tamik, are you in here, baby? I hope she don't mind. There she go. Tamik, can I share a little bit of your story? Tamik was in a relationship. Tamik, how long were you in that relationship? 18, 20 years or something like that? She was in a narcissistic relationship for either 18 or 20 years. Drop it in the comments however long you was in that relationship, Tamik. And Tamik got out of it. And she said, Miss Amore, I got out. After all these years, I made it out. 21 years. Thank you, Tamik. Thank you. She says, I made it out after listening to you talk about narcissistic abuse, talk about, domestic violence, and talk about, a lot of things that we talked about here on this channel. She said, I got out, Miss Amore. I made it out. And I made it out safe. She never, not one time, said, I'm a victim of 21 years of abuse. She said, Miss Amore, I survived it. I got my own place now. I made it out. I'm a survivor. I survived 21 years of bullshit. 21 years of bullshit. She ain't coming on here every day making freaking posts and videos and screaming to the top of her lungs, baby, because she's free. She's free. She's free. When you done made it out and you can still stand to tell your story, baby, you free. You ain't nobody's victim no more. Your abuser may have wanted you to stay the victim, baby. You ain't nobody's victim no more. You are a survivor, baby. Don't nobody have that over you. You ain't nobody's victim, sweetheart. She said, yes, God is good. Thank you. And I thank Amor every chance I get for helping me. Baby, what you say? What you say? What you say? You ain't nobody victim. Nobody's, okay? So anyway, I literally wanted to come out here and just, tell you guys this. I hope that we can move forward and, just continue to heal. A lot of us have been through a lot of shit, right? As women, period. Especially, I don't even want to put a color on it because I'm just going to say all women. I'm just going to say all women because, to be honest with you, I told y'all when I was younger, I used to think my childhood was the worst childhood in the world, right? Remember I told y'all that? I said I used to think my childhood was the worst childhood in the world until I went to basic training and came across a white female that told me that her daddy has been sleeping with her ever since she was 10 years old. And how she told me is because they asked, why did we join the Navy? They went around in a circle. Why'd you join the Navy? Why'd you join the Navy? Why'd you join the Navy? All around the circle you heard, I wanted to defend my country, or I wanted to leave my city, or I wanted to move from home. I wanted to be a general. I wanted to save the world. I wanted to fight for the United States. And this young lady said, because I wanted to get away from my dad. I wanted to get away from my dad. My daddy has been the R word, or I think she said sleeping with her since she was 10 years old and her mama knew. When I tell you, I stopped being that, oh, woe is me chick. I stopped being that, oh, woe is me chick, baby. How can I continue to be a, oh, woe is me chick when this girl has endured way more than I can even imagine? I'm thinking me getting whooped with a stitching cord and shit, butt naked across a bed and having to eat eggs out of the toilet. I said, God damn, my life is the worst ever. Until I found out that your own biological daddy slept with you for that many years while being in the house with your mama? Baby, if that ain't something, I don't know what is. Honey, that oh, woe is me went out the door, baby. I could not leave basic training being no, oh, woe is me chick. No, no, no. No, no, no. I said, wow, it's people out here that's getting treated like this? Yeah, I've been through some shit, but not like that. Not like that. So next time we stop for a moment and think that our life is the worst, that we've been through the worst, let's stop and start thinking about what somebody else have been through. Just say to yourself, just say to yourself, damn, there got to be somebody out there that was treated worse than me. And I'm only saying that not to discount your pain and your trauma. I'm just saying that there's somebody with a similar story to yours or a worse story than yours. Okay? A similar story or worse. Stop thinking, you guys, please. I beg y'all, stop thinking that you're the only one that has been through some shit. So let's embrace each other, because even though yours may have been worse than mine or mine may have been worse than yours, we all have been through some shit. Let's help each other heal. Let's bring real solutions and how we can heal each other. You know, if reading a certain book got you through, let's talk about that. If watching a certain movie got you through, let's talk about that. If a certain song, I call it a survivor song. Y'all know my survivor song. I Ain't Mad at You by Tupac, honey. When I'm going through something, I will play I Ain't Mad at You 15 times loud as hell in my house to help me get through some shit. Find you a survivor song, baby. And it may be a survivor song to you and not to somebody else, but it don't matter. I don't care if it's freaking Barney, I love you and you love me. Find something to help you get over pain and hurt and share it with people. Share it because it may help somebody else. I read self-help books. I sat on the couch for many, many years. I blamed myself for many, many years. And then I healed. And then I realized I had no control over what happened to me as a child. But I'd be goddamn if I let that ruin my motherfucking adulthood. I wish I might. That's taking your power back. Not letting something that happened to you ruin your life. That's taking your power back. It's time for us to take our power back. Sometimes we got to forgive ourselves, forgive the person that hurt you, and move forward, baby. Sometimes it's a matter of forgiveness. But I say, take your power back. I said to myself, I said, you know what? All the stuff that happened to me in childhood was set up for me to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs as an adult. I was supposed to be angry. I was supposed to be mad. I was supposed to be bitter. But if I do, then they win. Why am I going to be mad? Why am I going to be bitter? I hurt them worse by smiling as an adult, baby. I smiled. I moved forward. I will never allow somebody else to have that much power and control over me. And that person may be dead and gone, but they still have that much control over you, how you feel. No way, baby. I'm not giving nobody that much power over me. So what we've been through don't define who we are today. So when I say let it go, I'm not saying let go what happened to you because it happened, right? You don't have to let go the memory, but let it go because baby, that's not who you are today. That's not who you are today. You're not that 2-year-old. You're not that 13-year-old. You're not that 8-year-old. You're not that 12-year-old. You're not that 15-year-old. You're not that 20-something-year-old that was in that abusive relationship. You're not that 30 or that 40-year-old that was in that abusive relationship. You're not that person anymore. Unless you want to be. Unless you want to be. Because I don't want to be. I don't want to be that person. I remember my sister asked me one day, how can you just go on like it didn't happen? I said, you talking about from years ago? You talking about that? She's talking about, yeah, you just go on like it didn't happen. Girl, please. I have released that. Sometimes we gotta open the window and release some shit, honey. Release that. Stop holding on to that bitter, nasty, evil shit that happened to you. Release it. Go open a window right now in your house or a door and let it fly out. Release that pain. Release that trauma. Release it. Do you one loud, ugly, miserable, wet cry and release it? Release that. Don't hold on to that pain. Don't hold on to it, baby. I'm telling you. Don't hold on to it. Release it. Speak what happened. This is what happened to me. And I no longer want to hold on to this. I don't want to wake up tomorrow with this on my heart. And sometimes releasing it may be having to cut people off that remind you of it, you know, or that help cover it up, or, or whatever the case may be. But you got to release it. And in that way, when people say, dang, you act like you didn't go through that. Oh, you talking about that? Girl, bye. You know how long ago that's been? You know? It's not that it didn't happen to you. It's just not who you are. It didn't define you. It didn't define you. If anything, it helped motivate you to be who you are, but it definitely didn't define you. It didn't hold you back. You know? So again, stop wanting to be a victim. If something's happened to you and you've been holding on to it, let's work on healing. Let's work on prevention. Let's work on awareness. But what we ain't going to do for the rest of 2025 is hold on to pain and hold on to hurt. I'm talking about even if in an old relationship, if you're still mad at your ex, your baby daddy, or whatever the case may be, release that shit. Release that shit. Release it. What you mad at them for? They probably happier than they want to be, and you over here mad. Release that. Release that. So 2025, let it go. Release it. That's what we need to focus on. Release it. Release whatever that's not serving you well. Release pain, release anger, release bitterness, release rage, release hurt. Release it. Let it go. Stop every single year carrying that shit into another year. I hate him. I just for the life of me don't understand when people be telling me, oh yeah, we've been divorced for 20 years and I hate his ass. How you hate somebody from 20 years ago? I don't get it. I understand you might be, after a breakup, you upset for the moment, but 20 years, he a different person and you a different person. Hell, 5 years, y'all a different person. And let me tell you how I get through it, y'all. I've convinced myself that everybody in my life that has done me wrong, God wasn't finished working on them yet. That's what I say to myself. It's not that they was a bad person. It's just that God wasn't through working on them yet. Because if we all supposed to be God kids, right? You think God made an evil person? No, he's just not finished working on them yet. So look at it that way. If that person beat your ass, God wasn't finished working on him yet. If he cheated on you, God wasn't finished working on him yet. If he said some really evil things to you, God wasn't finished with him yet. 5 years from now, he might be okay. 10 years from now, he might be okay. Now, I'm not telling you to get back with him. Just for your own peace of mind, look at it like God wasn't done working on him yet. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at all my old relationships or whatever that didn't work out. God just wasn't, either he wasn't finished working on me or he wasn't finished working on them. One or the other. But we wasn't ready. We wasn't, we were still in the oven, honey. We wasn't ready to come out. So anyway, 2025, let's focus on releasing. Stop carrying hurt, pain, trauma year after year after year. Let's help others heal. Let's bring awareness. Even if we got to read self-help books, because honey, I am not opposed. I done read a lot of, listen, I was the one that would go into the library, the bookstore, and pull up a chair and read. And I read books that y'all probably would be like, Amora, you read that? You damn right. How to be more confident, how to be more secure, how to be a great listener, how to be a good friend, how to communicate better, how to be a leader, how to be a better mom, how to be a better sister, how to be a better wife, how to be a better woman. Trust me when and listen, I read it, how to forgive, how to move forward. I even read books on how to deal with rejection. Baby, I'm here to tell you your girl done read them, okay? But it was a part of my homework through counseling. My counselor used to tell me, get this book right here. And I would get it and I would read it. And I'm telling you, sometimes it takes me reading it 2 or 3 times for me to get it sunk into my head. So I put in the work, you guys. This ain't going to happen overnight. But I'm telling you, it can happen. I want people to be happy. I want people to enjoy their own lives instead of being in pain and wanting to stay stuck. Nobody should want to stay stuck, baby. There's too much good life out there. Let's live a good life. So anyway, y'all, this is it for today. I'm pretty sure it is 7:35. My husband and I are about to step out. We're going to a live band up the street and we're going to enjoy ourselves. So again, 2025, release, let it go. Release it, let it go. 2025, we're going to focus on releasing. We're going to focus on letting go. Okay. That's what we're going to do all 2025. So thank you guys so very much for pulling up. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the super stickers. Thank you for the coffees. I do appreciate you guys. I'm pretty sure somebody else got a live schedule for right now. So I'm not sure, but yes, I definitely wanted to. Let me read a couple of comments. She said this live was on point 100%. God cannot heal you if you are harboring hate and undertone from others. Oh, that's right, Des. That is absolutely right. We sometimes complain about minor stuff, then we hear other people experience worse things in their life. Remind me of the story of a man cried having no shoes until he met a man who had no feet. Ooh, wee T. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. We cry over things and then we find out somebody is in a worse situation than us. We find out somebody in a worse situation than us. Powerful. Crying about having no shoes and somebody out there don't have feet, baby. You hear me? She says, Ramlin said, when I worked in the federal corrections, I had a girl who was sexually abused by her father, and she said she felt like her mother knew as well. You spoke a word tonight. Yes, that was my, I call it battle buddy, but that was my battle buddy, one of them. She said her mother did know, and now, come on, how am I going to complain about being whipped with a extension cord when you got a girl over here? That's so much trauma to know that your real biological, that man should have been in jail somewhere. And y'all know back in the day, they ain't tell on family members like that. They let family members slide through the damn cracks. That's another reason why I didn't really want to focus on SA on my channel, because we want to talk about people with records. We want to talk about people on paper. What about them motherfuckers that never made the paper, that don't have no record? What about them? I know some family members that's living a good old life right now. Huh? Okay? I know a family, I know personally a family member that retired high ranks in the military. He has a good old life. So we want to talk about those that were caught. What about those that's not caught? That's why I look at people, I like, Oh my God, don't get me there. But I look at people like people want to sit here and talk about this person and that person and that person, right? But what about the people that didn't get caught? Because trust me, just because you don't have a court record, just because you didn't get charges filed on you, it don't make you no good person. It don't make you no good man. It don't make that you didn't do that. In the families, I was going to say black families again, like as if white people don't go through this shit. But in families, some families care more about their family name. They don't want to bring disgrace against their family. So they don't share this type of stuff. I know of different instances where they'll just kick the daddy out the house or the brother-in-law or the uncle out the house. And that man goes on to live free, maybe do it again to somebody else 15 more times or whatever, but they never face jail. It used to be a hush hush thing. Don't tell nobody that Uncle Ray did this. So trust me when I tell you, just because a person is on paper, that just means his ass got caught. But that doesn't make my daddy, my uncle, your uncle. And I'm not saying like legit for real, but I'm just saying like a lot of our different family members have either done this or know about it. You know what I mean? So some of them didn't get caught. We got to stop saying, oh, this person didn't have no record. That means he didn't do it. What the hell? What do you mean? Just because he don't have no record, he didn't do it? No, baby, that just means he didn't get caught. Anyway, we ain't going to go down there because, honey, we'll have a whole nother live, okay? A whole nother live. There's a lot of criminals that's walking around free. And there's a lot of innocent people that's jailed up. Okay? I love y'all. I'm going to talk to y'all later. Thank you so much, everybody, for the super chats. Thank you for the memberships. I do appreciate it. And honey, go on and get your fuzzy socks and your bag of popcorns because we pulling in tomorrow and we're going to do a drive-through movie, baby. You hear me? I love y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Jay! She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be want to listen. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.